Hello everybody, Halo Infinite has come and gone, and now is the time to make constructive feedback to give 343 our thoughts of what we thought about Halo Infinite. Keeping in mind that the tech preview we got to play is an older build, I've compiled my thoughts about performance, UI and battle pass, gunplay, advanced movement, and the overall feel of the game. The website I actually used to submit bug reports is now down for some reason. I wish 343 had kept it open longer because I had no idea it was going down. So if you guys want to share what you thought about Halo Infinite as well, use the comments on this video, and together we can make some constructive feedback of what we thought about the game. So I tried to get the best possible idea of Halo Infinite. I played almost 10 hours a day over the 4 days. I streamed it all over on my Twitch page, and there was a lot of things I liked and some things I really didn't like. So we'll start with the likes first, and I really enjoyed the grapple hook. That was probably one of the best things that I have seen in a Halo title in a very long time. Being able to combine the grapple hook with the new advanced movement slide mechanic is so damn fun. Being able to traverse the map really quickly, link multi-kills together by using the grapple hook, I just thought it was a lot of fun. I also really enjoyed the battle rifle. The BR is in a really good spot. It feels very rewarding to use. Hit registration is good, and I didn't get too many blood shots where I would shoot people and then bullets wouldn't register. Overall, the game feels much better than Halo 4 or Halo 5, and it was really nice to see the community was so positive and excited, and it was even better to see an interest from the broader gaming community. I also really enjoyed the customization options, but unfortunately the big outline system, the glow was so significant. You often couldn't tell what any armor anyone was using aside from the little opening and closing screen before and after a match. I also really liked live fire and recharge. Even Bazaar aesthetically looks really good, but live fire and recharge played really well. The weapons on the map complemented the gameplay very well too, and I can't wait to see all the amazing game modes that come out once the game is fully released. I really loved insta-sploding, where you throw one plasma grenade and then you throw another one just after it and you create a chain of explosions. That was awesome too. I also really enjoyed the Combat Evolve, being able to launch weapons from the weapon pads. As a Halo 1 player, I love that that's coming back, and being able to grapple hook a flying weapon is also really awesome. This brings me to some things that I think should be changed. Instead of just saying, this is bad, I'm gonna try to give constructive feedback as to why I didn't like them and why I feel like they should be changed. First and foremost, I'll cover the medals. The medals at the moment are very small, and on top of that, they don't look very aesthetically pleasing compared to past Halo titles. Before, Overkill to Killionaire used to be all different colors. Now they're all red. On top of that, the Kilimanjaro to Killionaire medals are now very hard to tell what's going on. It goes from 6 stars back to 1 star again, and then the Killionaire jumps from 3 stars to 5 stars, but even the Perfection medal is now just a target loco. I'm not sure what was wrong with the Halo 3 Perfection image, I'll put it on screen now, but even if the medals stayed small, I'd like them to be aesthetically pleasing like they were before. I like the innovation when you get a Killtastrophe, it says created a Killtastrophe. So that bit I really like. It's just the medals themselves don't look all that great at the moment. Next up, we're going to talk about weaponry. The sniper rifle really doesn't work at the moment. I'm all for it being really hard to aim if there's zero aim assist, but at the moment it's very buggy. When you zoom in, it'll zoom in twice. When you quickscope into something, it doesn't actually zoom where you are aiming, it'll aim a bit to the left or a bit to the right. The zoom itself is too far for the first zoom. If you press Y, which is switch weapon to quickly zoom out, it freezes the whole gun and then you can't shoot, you can't zoom, you can't do anything. On top of that, it just feels very clunky at the moment, so I'd like that to be changed too. Moving on to another weapon, the gravity hammer. Doesn't actually affect the gravity all that much. It's more of a battering ram gravity hammer. But what I noticed, and this coincides with the game physics, is I couldn't really manipulate the physics with the gravity hammer at all. And when I tried to actually jump on my teammate's head as well, you just sink right through because there's absolutely no collision. Another thing is the physics themselves. A lot of the game physics, I would just go through the barrels. There's some barrels on recharge, and I couldn't interact with them at all. You can't earn splatters with them either from what I saw when I hit someone with it. And on top of that, players have no collisions, so then all the players can stand in on each other on one square. I understand this build was old, so maybe that's already fixed, but that's just something that I really would love fixed too. Next up, we'll talk about the battle pass. I know a lot of you guys had issues with this, is that there's no way to level it up currently, normally, by just playing the game. You have to complete challenges. I didn't know this, so after playing for 42 hours, I'd only gotten halfway through the battle pass, and even if you complete all the challenges, you wouldn't get to level 20 unless you put just XP boosts on. This leads me to the XP progression, and unfortunately there's no XP progression in the flight test. Maybe that's just a flight thing, but I remember I actually bought hours and hours of double XP so I could get to the max rank when this game came out. I really hope it's not just battle pass XP. This brings me to the list of little things that aren't super major because they're probably going to get fixed, so I'm just going to fire them off in a list. The plasma pistol tracking doesn't stack up to the plasma carbine. The plasma carbine just destroys it. I don't like that the weapons change game to game. One time it'll be a skewer, the other time it'll be a sniper. Sometimes it'll be a commando, other times it'll be a BR. Spawn protection for ranked has to be turned off. There's spawn protection, or at least a toggle. There's no extermination medal in the game at all. Collision and collision in general, which I covered before. Performance and frame rate, and I know this is probably going to get fixed, which is why it's in this section. But on the Xbox One, I averaged 25 to 30 FPS. The Series X, I got 60 FPS. And then it was CPU based, so if you had a good CPU on PC, you could push, like I did, 100 to 110. If you didn't have a good CPU, you could only get about 60 to 70. People with a 30 series GPU couldn't break 60. But obviously it's going to be more optimized as the build gets refined. The last thing I'd like to talk about is the UI, the user interface, and the emblems being tied to nameplates. I really hope there's a way you can customize your emblem and customize your nameplate. Currently in the Halo Waypoint app, if you pick a nameplate, it's tied to your emblem and there's no option to differentiate the two. I really hope this is rectified. Also, the option to turn off the AI would be nice. I personally wouldn't use the AI if it wasn't an option, but when I turn everything off, I get given the default one. I feel like more customization is always going to be appreciated. In terms of UI, user interface, I found it very hard to invite players. There was no option where I could just go find player, put the gamer tag in, and invite them. I would have to add them as a friend, and as a streamer, I don't want to add every single person who's coming to play with me. It was also very confusing to navigate. It took me a long time before I worked out how to actually invite anyone. And from asking a lot of other people when I was live streaming, they said they didn't know that once you search for a game, you can actually back out to the menu while you continue searching to then customize your Spartan. So overall, I really enjoyed the game. It has a lot of potential. The gunplay is amazing. I'm really excited to see how the build progresses between now and when the game comes out in probably November. It is easily the best received Halo title in years, and the entire community is so excited to see what you guys have in store. I really love the technical preview weekend. All the things I've covered are very minor details, but when they add up, become a significant issue. Thankfully though, I think most of them will be fixed before launch. So overall, I'd give it about a 7 out of 10 just by playing it this weekend. So guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you think or what you thought of Halo Infinite this past weekend. I'm very excited for the future of Halo and to be a Halo fan, so I cannot wait for the next flight test. But thank you all so much for watching. I still have a few Infinite uploads to come, and then we'll be going back to MCC until the next Infinite flight test. Thanks for watching, guys.